Hi there, you clicked on the Weather Ranger National U.S. Briefing this Christmas 2013. We're going to cover the next week, at least through New Year's, probably a little bit beyond. What do we have on tap here? Well, temperatures warm up in the eastern portion of the country, but then another Arctic outbreak will spill across much of the northern half of the country, cause frigid temperatures once again, and we also have a couple of storms on the horizon. Storm number 1, the first week of January, and storm number 2, most likely the second week of January. Let's take a look and see how these storms pan out, and also what we can expect over the next week into the new year. Taking a look at our national watches, warnings, and advisories map, we have some high wind warnings and advisories over southwestern California and also southeastern Nevada, up here in Montana as well. We have some winter weather advisories here for western Michigan, and also some winter storm watches up here in the upper peninsula of Michigan as well. We also have winter storm watches and winter storm warnings here in western New York State, and also winter weather advisory here in coastal Maine, as a system is currently over the upper Midwest and will push east overnight. Let's take a look at that on our winter radar here. We can see scattered snow showers and bands of snow making their way across southeastern Wisconsin, coming onshore into western Michigan, across Ontario, and coming onshore into Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania, and also western New York State, as this system will push eastward overnight, and anywhere in here in this region in interior New York State and central Pennsylvania can expect to see the flakes flying anytime tonight into tomorrow morning. Taking a look at the United States on the infrared enhanced satellite imagery, we see an active jet stream which is flowing from Canada down into the United States, kind of like this right now, as we can see on the brighter, higher cloud tops here with some energy coming onshore. And also, with this southern branch of the jet stream has also been quite active so far this season, and will be transporting moisture up into the East Coast. And this could spell trouble here, and it might just after the New Year's. We see this storm over the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, which will move slowly eastward overnight, as this is the disturbance that we see right here on the infrared satellite imagery. Looking at the national U.S. surface analysis along with radar data, we can see the clouds and the reflectivity here on radar with this light snow that is currently over Chicago and also the Ohio River Valley. This is an upper level feature that will slide on east here overnight. Expect to see some snow and anywhere in this part of the country overnight, anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon line between Pennsylvania and Maryland. With temperatures right now in the 20s around Chicago and the teens up around Green Bay, and 27 in Pittsburgh, and we have 26 in Philadelphia, basically in the 20s, and even as high as freezing up around here in northern New Hampshire and Vermont. And down here in Florida we have 75 degrees with cloudy skies, off and on showers, we can expect that. 47 New Orleans, 66 down in Brownsville, Texas, with some rain shower and cloud activity down here, and it's just nice down here across Southern California right now with with temperatures in the 60s right now. Up in Seattle, 45 degrees, lower to mid 40s with cloudy conditions and rain, as this system here is moving across the northwestern part of our country. So what can we expect over the next couple of days as far as snowfall activity? This is the NAM high resolution model, and this is showing accumulated snowfall through 1 a.m. on Saturday. So across southern parts of Wisconsin, North Dakota, all of Minnesota gets a coating, a light dusting. Michigan gets it overnight, and also northwestern Pennsylvania, western New York State, and even it has a band over here over western New York State setting up more than likely as lake effect snows will increase overnight and into tomorrow. Up here in Maine and New Hampshire, Massachusetts, down to Connecticut, we have the model showing more snow output through Saturday. So this part of the country over here is going to have some snow. We have some light snow activity down here from Kansas into Missouri. And out in the Pacific Northwest, out in the Rockies, we have some snow in the higher elevations of the mountains out here, and also western Montana through Friday night into early Saturday morning. Let's take a look at the models here. This is the long range, and we can see this piece of energy here over eastern Canada, just south of the Hudson Bay, spinning its wheels. This is a polar low. This is Arctic air here. Yes, it's air that is coming down from the North Pole and being spilled right into the United States here. So this is going to be cold. And when is this? This is New Year's Day right here. You can look at these thickness lines. This is the rain snow thickness line. Look how far this line goes. It goes all the way down into the Carolinas and Tennessee. And that's far south to be expecting any type of that wintry weather. Strong jet stream moving across the country and up over the northeast and into the Atlantic, and also the southern branch of the jet stream is also active. And it doesn't appear that this model is picking up on the southern branch of the jet stream activity really that well, but it's definitely there. So let's take a look at our first storm that we promised that we'd let you take a look at here on the GFS model as we go into Friday. This GFS model here actually takes the low. This is the storm that everybody's talking about on Friday, the 3rd of January. Has this GFS model here has this storm going out to sea, and it has all the precipitation associated with it going out to sea as well. Very cold across the northeastern part of the country. As we can see, this 0 degree line at 5,000 feet in the atmosphere, well down into the deep south, into Dixieland. So this storm is not projected to ride up the East Coast like I think it will on January 3rd. It has that going out to sea here and off into the depths of the North Atlantic. And when this low here actually backs up and around like this, that indicates to me that we have a blocking pattern. And if that first storm doesn't play out, we have a second storm, the 7th into the 8th of January. The timing of that is going to be not exact. We're not going to hold that to being etched in stone or concrete. But look at this impressive East Coast storm right here on the 7th into the 8th of January. Nice piece of energy here over the eastern part of the United States, as this is a polar disturbance right here with very, very cold air, as the cold air just spills all the way down to the Gulf Coast and beyond. In fact, it's probably going to even make its way down into Florida. This indicating Georgia, South Carolina, and the Carolinas even have snow. In fact, the whole eastern half of the country has snow here on January 7th into the 8th, and with very cold air just plunging right down into the southern part of the country. Probably have some orange grove problems down here with the orange trees in Florida, with them freezing up. So the jet stream dips way far south here for January 7th, 8th, 9th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. The timing of this is absolutely unknown at this point. This storm right here moves northward and then northwestward and then back over the Hudson Bay, as this is a block right here over Greenland, and this is just a big impressive dome of cold air right here in Arctic energy, which is just going to force the jet stream south and cause Arctic-like and cold conditions. Highs probably in the single digits, maybe over the northeast and into the teens for highs. Doesn't get much warmer than that, as that impressive system just kind of dissolves. And that is just going to be cold for the northern half of the country going into the second week of January. Let's take a look here at the northern hemisphere enhanced infrared satellite imagery. This showing you the whole top half of the world. And right here, if we take a look over Mexico, we can see a big plume of moisture that is just going to get caught up in the southern branch of the jet stream. And the GFS model that we're looking at isn't real good on picking this up. So this is going to be our moisture transport right down here, right up over the east coast of the United States and into the northeast, and also the active jet stream bringing these disturbances from the Gulf of Alaska, the Aleutian Islands, western Canada, right down across the central part of the United States and into the east coast, combining with this subtropical jet with all this moisture that will give us a stormy pattern going into the new year. So if you're a snowbird, this is definitely a good combination that you have this right here and this right here. So this could spell out a big snowstorm at some point in early January. I will not totally rule that out. Let's take a look here at your long-term temperatures as far as warmer than usual or colder than usual. So right now it's a little chilly over the eastern part of the United States as we have concentrate on this panel right over here. This is for thickness. This is temperature profiles in the atmosphere. This is cold. This is really cold. This is cold. This is basically what we're feeling right now in the green, and this is well to our south. This is a warm thickness contour right here. But concentrate on the anomalies over here. What's warmer than usual and what's colder than usual. Right now we have a pretty impressive ridge, although not too impressive, over the west coast of the United States right now, which is forcing a trough in the east as it's really cold outside right now. And you see this dip in this blue, think cold, think cold. And when you see this, think warm in the red and oranges. And let's watch this into New Year's Eve. We have a big cold outbreak on New Year's Eve on the 30th into the 31st actually, but it will be cold for New Year's Eve. And that dome of cold air seems to lift out on January 2nd. And then right around the time of that storm that is supposed to occur, the first storm anyway, we have a pretty big trough and a pretty big cold anomaly over the east coast of the United States. So we're not going to totally rule out that storm at this point. I think there's a good chance it'll happen, if not definitely the second storm. And here comes the heights. The heights in the atmosphere are what the wind in the upper atmosphere flows parallel to. So this is a jet stream. We still have a trough here in the eastern part of the United States and a polar vortex right here over the Hudson Bay, but it's centered over Baffin Island of Canada, and this is Greenland right here. So this is where the jet stream will be in a trough in the eastern part of the United States. Scatter over here is all over the place as far as thicknesses, so this is a model is going to be tough to pick up on. So we can definitely see some troughiness in the east coast of the United States as we head into the first and second weeks of January here. And that just could spell trouble, more trouble for the whole eastern half of the United States, as far as maybe even a possible blizzard the second week for So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. Weather Ranger National U.S. Briefing. As always, thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned as we will monitor storm number 1 and storm number 2 for potential East Coast situations that could cause trouble. Have a Merry Christmas, and I will go and update the regional Philadelphia briefing as well as the graphics and forecast this Christmas night. Again, have a Merry Christmas. Keep on top of it with Weather Ranger. Keep it right here. We will keep you up to date on these potential East Coast storms and also the Arctic cold. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.